Of Pennsylvania's 253-person General Assembly, only 48 are women. That 19%, according to the Rutgers Center for American Women in Politics, ranks 39th of 50 states. One of the Commonwealth's newest female legislators joining us now on the Fox 43 Capitol Beat, York Area State Representative Carol Hill Evans. Thank you for joining us this morning. You started back in 2017, and since then, 14 months. What have you seen have been the biggest challenges facing women in Pennsylvania state legislature?
Being taken seriously, being able to come up with the kind of legislation that competes with our fellow, our male counterparts, and just being accepted. Yeah.
When you say being taken seriously and being accepted, what examples have you seen or experienced that made you feel not accepted?
Quite often it appears as though our legislation is assigned to a committee, and then it just kind of languishes in committee, and it's not brought forth onto the floor for the vote, like so many. And it could be just sheer numbers, the fact that there are so few of us there that our legislation just by numbers, it sits in committee. So.
Are you talking about legislation focused on women, or legislation that is written by women?
That's written and introduced by women. Yes.
Is not being taken seriously.
It's not being. It's not coming to the forefront the way I'd like to see it come to the forefront. It's the process that it needs to go to committee. It needs to be discussed in committee, and then that committee gets the opportunity to vote for it to come onto the floor. And I'm not seeing as much of that legislation, female-introduced legislation, coming to the floor for an actual vote.
That being said, the 48 women that are currently in Pennsylvania's General Assembly, 41 in the House and 7 senators, that's the 48, that's the most Pennsylvania has ever seen in the General Assembly. Is that not progress?
It is progress, oh yes, and I'm very pleased with the progress, but we can do more. And so we have to, as women, I think it's important for us to stand up and be counted, talk to other women who may have an interest in politics, and help them to come along, show them that even though it's a big scary monster, you can rein it in, and you can conquer it.
Issues such as sexual harassment and domestic violence involving not only women but women in the state legislature have really been a key focal point of the first few months of 2018. Why has it taken it so long to address this issue in the General Assembly? And in your mind, what laws do you believe need improved upon the most?
I think it's taken this long because it's taken us as females this long to actually find our voice and to stand up with one another and support one another. That against all odds, we need to make sure that the world and our communities know exactly what is going on. There's the fear of losing your position or losing your job or not being believed. And so regardless of what the consequences are, we're finding that it's more important for the truth to be out there. And so we're telling our stories. What
laws need to be changed to improve where Pennsylvania currently sits?
Well, there's one law that is being introduced and discussed, and that is Representative Kruger-Branicki's law that prohibits the use of caucus funds in order to pay for legal challenges and attorney's fees and things like that. And I will support that.
I know gun control measures, gun safety legislation has been something that you've been passionate about. And the one bill that stands out to me, which is sitting over on the House side but hasn't been brought up yet, involves teachers and guns. It passed the Senate last year. Mm-hmm. Do you foresee the House taking that bill up in the coming session?
I hope so. As a legislator, I hope so. I think it's worthy of a discussion. I don't know how much support there actually is, and you're referring to the legislation
Senate Bill 333, I believe.
Yes, that would that would allow teachers to be strapped, mm-hmm. more or less. Yes. So I think that's worthy of a discussion. I think that all voices need to be heard on it. Again, I'm not sure what kind of support there is for that.
Do you support it?
I do not support teachers being able to carry
Why
weapons.
Not?
As a mother, I can't imagine having a teacher, someone who is teaching my child, whatever it is the subject matter is, being able to draw a weapon and shoot them, that's horrifying to me. I can't even imagine.
But it's worth a discussion for everyone else.
It's worth a discussion so that everybody hears everybody's voice.
And this is a bill that passed 27-23, I believe it was, in the Senate last, I want to say, June. So obviously there's support, but many, you could say it was party lines, but it wasn't, because many Republican senators also voted no for it. All Democrats voted no for it as well. So I guess it's something that we'll see in the coming weeks and months. Representative Carol Hill Evans from York County, thank you so much for joining us on the Capitol Beat. And Fox 43 Morning News will be right back.